Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to everyone who's coming on. Welcome to all my replay viewers. Thanks for coming on and chatting with me. If this is your first time with me, welcome. I'm glad you've made it on with me. I'm going to flip my camera around now so I can talk to you guys better. Hello. If this is your first time with me, my name is Keely. I'm the owner of LoveHopeAdventure.com, and I blog about the marriage relationship, intimacy in marriage, how you can have a deeper relationship with your spouse, and then sometimes I talk about lifestyle posts and give you just general housekeeping tips and that kind of thing. So thanks so much for coming on and joining me today as I'm talking about phrases that you need to learn to say. And on Sunday, I actually scoped a phrase that I am challenging you guys to learn to say, is that I'm not too busy. And we talked about how in our culture we pride ourselves on being busy, and we need to start making a move towards not being too busy. And today I want to go over another phrase with you that I think is equally as important to say, and that is, I love having sex with my spouse. It is so important that you feel that and that you communicate it to your spouse. They need to know that they please you sexually, and you, obviously, I hope you want to know that you've pleased them sexually, and this is not necessarily the easiest thing to come right out and say. So if you haven't spent very much time talking with your spouse about sex and the things you guys do together, then this might be kind of going outside of your comfort zone. Or possibly you are in a place right now where you don't feel like having sex with your spouse is something that you love. And I want to encourage you guys to move towards that mindset. See, when you develop the mindset that you love having sex with your lover and being intimate in that way, it does a lot of great things for you. First of all, it makes you feel more confident. You feel more confident about this thing because it's something that you love. You also feel better while you're doing it. It's the same thing as if you loved to cook. It's not a chore, it's not something you dread, it makes you feel good to do it. This is how it should be in your sex life. You should love to be intimate with your spouse. And so you are more confident in this way, you have a better attitude during it, and it also helps you to be more adventurous. Hey, thanks so much for joining me. Welcome, come on, for those that are coming on. So I think that when you tell people that you tell your spouse that you love having sex with them, it helps you to be more adventurous. It allows you to explore more and experiment more. Just going back to that idea of loving to cook. You know, I love cooking, so it helps me to experiment more in the kitchen, and I want to do more, and because I like it, I give more of my heart to it and more time and attention. When you love having sex with your spouse, it gives you that same thing. You want to spend more time with them. You want to be more adventurous with them. And you anticipate it, you enjoy it, you make time for it. We make time for the things we love doing. And a few weeks ago, we talked about taking sex off of your chore list. Somebody says, how about talking about sex positions? If you would like to see any resources about different sex positions, go to christianfriendlysexpositions.com. And I will link up to this on my Periscope page. So go to lovehopeadventure.com/Periscope, and I will link to their website. And you guys can see what they have to say. They've got some great resources over there, and I trust those guys, so check them out. But when it comes to loving having sex with your spouse, it is so important that you communicate that, because maybe you really do enjoy what you guys are doing, but they don't know it. And your actions could actually be showing them the exact opposite of that. So first of all, if you never initiate, then you're probably communicating to your spouse that you don't really want to do this. So if you first of all want to communicate to your spouse that you enjoy your time together, you need to start initiating. And I know it's not easy, And I actually did a podcast with Bella from, I'll have to link up to it when she brings out this podcast. Her name is Bella Rose, and she had me come on and talk about ways that you can feel more comfortable initiating. And I know it's not easy to do that. But let me tell you something. Initiating is like a very easy way to communicate to your spouse that you love being with them. Because you're going to initiate the things with them that you enjoy, right? So that will help you grow in your confidence. It'll help you grow in your enjoyment of this activity with your spouse anyways. And then you need to use your words. Share it with them. Tell them out loud. Say it out loud. Communicate it to them with your actions and with your words. And I know that's hard. I know it's hard to come right out and just admit, I love doing this. And if you've got any baggage tied to your sexual life, whether you have dealt with a promiscuous past sexually, or maybe you have just a poor view or understanding of this God-given gift to our marriage, or maybe you've dealt with sexual abuse, it might be very hard for you to admit that sex is something you love doing. And it's so freeing to admit that. And I encourage you and challenge you guys today to say that. You wouldn't feel embarrassed to say that you love cooking. You shouldn't feel embarrassed to say that you love having sex with your spouse. And I know that this is a problem for people. It is, because our culture and our society has turned this amazing thing that the Lord gave us into something that is perverted. So I don't know about you, but just saying I love having sex can kind of make me feel a little bit perverted. Isn't that what our society does to people who say that? Well, they're just, maybe loose or something, or promiscuous because they love having sex and they enjoy it. And the truth is that God created it for us to enjoy with our spouse. So there's nothing wrong with admitting it. There's nothing wrong with saying it. And it's highly freeing when you do. So that is something else. This is another phrase I'm encouraging you guys this week to adopt. Start out by saying, I'm not too busy. And by saying I'm not too busy in other things in your life and clearing your schedule, it will actually give you more time to spend intimately with your spouse. And the other phrase I want you to start working on is saying to your spouse, I love having sex with you. Now, I'm not sitting here saying you need to get on Periscope and tell the whole world that you love having sex with your spouse. Obviously, not everyone can do that like me. Or say it to everyone else. I want you to say this to your husband, to your wife, to the one that you are committed to. Let them know how they've pleased you. And if you would like to see what else, thanks so much. Somebody just commented, this is an important message. And yes, thank you so much for commenting and coming on. And guys, I know you're saying, you're really brave for sharing this message. And anybody watching my scope right now, guys, you're brave for even watching it, because I know that there are a lot of perverted things out there about sex, and it can be super hard to click on anything that talks about sex because you never know what you're going to hear. And my goal with Love, Hope, Adventure is to build a safe community, a safe place where you can come and learn the things about having a more intimate sex life with your spouse and not walking away feeling guilty or bad about something you've learned or read. So, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. If you'd like to see what else has been on my mind, go over to lovehopeadventure.com. And if you'd like to sign up for my newsletters, I actually have two. I have a free printable for conversation starters, and that puts you on my basic marriage newsletter. Gives you weekly updates of some things I've been writing about, and I address marriage helps and tips. And then I have another newsletter that is my spicier list for those that are looking for sex tips and things that you can do in your bedroom. And when you sign up for that, you actually get access to all of the free printable bedroom games that my husband and I have created. And there's probably about 7 or 8 on there right now, and I add to them as often as I can. So check those things out. You can get to that at lovehopeadventure.com/newsletter. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow.